Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's good to see you guys. If this is your first time here on my channel, do not be afraid to smash that subscribe button, click the like button, and say hello through the comment section below. That is right, guys. I am really excited to be doing this video because I am a Mega Man fan, and of course a day ago we got word that Capcom plans to release Mega Man 11 for a late 2018 release time, and this is really exciting. This is the first breakthrough announcement that we've had about a new installment in years. Actually, I believe the last Mega Man, the original Mega Man title, came out in 2010, I want to say. So it's been like 7 to 8 years since we've heard anything from Capcom on a new title. So I am really excited, and I have an article that I'm going to read to you guys. It's very insightful. It will give you some good inside information on the new title, as well as some background information with the studio and how they kind of had to restructure themselves after Kenji Inafune left the fold. So I think you guys will definitely want to hear that. But before I get into that, I want to ask everyone a very serious question, and whether you agree or disagree, or if you like the idea or not, please leave a comment below and express yourself. Let me know how you feel. The question is, would you like to see Capcom release a Mega Man fighter game? Now, I want everyone to think about that question as the video continues, and whatever comments or concerns or questions that you come up with, please leave them in the comment section below, and I want to hear your feedback to that question, and I'm going to come back at the end of the video and give you my personal feedback and responses to that question as well. So I'm going to go ahead and continue into the article. The article is from US Gamer, and the title of this article is 4 Difficulty Settings and No Female Robot Masters, 11 Things We Know About Mega Man 11. The reason I chose this article to read in the video is because, of course, information about the title is very sparse at this moment. All we have is basically the announcement. But when I came across this article, it really went so much more into depth into the background of how the studio kind of restructured itself after Kenji Inafune left, what they did to kind of recover from his departure, and how they got back on track, and basically how the concepts and ideas kind of came together for the project. So I'm going to kick things off with the number one thing they have listed here, which is the Mega Man 11 team was unsure how to pick up the series after Kenji Inafune departed Capcom. Mega Man 11's producer, Kazuhiro Tushiya, I'm not the best with Japanese names, guys, says Capcom staff had a hard time saying, "I want to work on Mega Man" once the usual man behind the wheel, Kenji Inafune, departed the company. When he left, remaining staff was unsure about how to fill his role. Alright, number 2. There are 4 difficulty settings in Mega Man 11. Like Mega Man 10 and the American release of Mega Man 2 long before it, Mega Man 11 will have difficulty settings. 4 to be exact. We know of 2 so far. Quote-unquote normal is a standard Mega Man challenge, and quote-unquote superhero is for Mega Man enthusiasts who enjoy the musical crunch of a steel-plated boot sailing into their shin. Number 3. The Robot Masters are former allies of Dr. Light. It's not uncommon for the nefarious Dr. Wily to simply turn his good colleagues' robots against the world with a little reprogramming, or with some good old-fashioned coercing, and it seems that's the case in Mega Man 11 too. Number 4. The gears under Mega Man's health meter have something to do with the game's difficulty. If you look at screenshots or video of Mega Man 11, you'll see an image of some gears below Mega Man's health and weapon meters. According to Game Informer, these gears are part of quote-unquote an entirely new gameplay mechanic that will impact Mega Man's moment-to-moment action. Unfortunately, we can't talk about this feature, but we feel that it's a nice addition to the action and helps balance the difficulty, end quote. Number 5. There's a weapon wheel. Shuffling through menus isn't fun in the NES Mega Man games. Later games let you choose weapons with bumper buttons, but even doing that wastes time. Mega Man 11 has a cure for the weapon switching blues, however, a weapon wheel that's programmed into each console controller's right analog stick. Now we just need to remember which direction switches to which weapon. With my lousy memory, it looks like I might be hitting L and R all the time anyway. Guys, just a quick note, this is actually the author of the article talking and not me. Okay, let's continue. Number 6. Mega Man's helmet and armor change when he equips a Robot Master's weapon. You've probably already seen the concept art floating around of Mega Man wearing a suit of brick-like armor. Turns out when he switches weapons, his body design changes along with his color. We're looking forward to seeing the cool alterations Capcom applies to Mega Man's classic bod. Number 7. All 8 Robot Masters can be challenged from the outset. This point is probably a quote-unquote duh for less involved Mega Man fans, but there are actually several Mega Man games that force you to take on the Robot Masters 4x4. Not Mega Man 11. All 8 Masters are available for a beating as soon as you start playing, so enjoy your prolonged period of performing guesswork while you slowly grow your weapon stash. Number 8. Mega Man was almost quote-unquote super masculine. Mega Man 11's director, another Japanese name, Koji Oda, says the team experimented a bit with Mega Man's design. At one point he was quote-unquote super masculine, but that idea was scrapped, presumably after the artist started having flashbacks of DIC's Mega Man cartoon from the 90s. Number 9. Several people pitched new Mega Man game ideas before Kazuhiro Tsuchiya got the go-ahead. As you might expect from a franchise as beloved as Mega Man, more than one pitch was made for a new game. Koji Oda's pitch ultimately wound up getting the green light. Number 10. Mega Man 11's team redesigned old stages from Mega Man 5 through 10 to test the new art style. Not everyone is a fan of Mega Man 11's new art style, but rest assured it went through testing before it was given the final thumbs up. The team redesigned old stages from Mega Man 5 through 10 to make sure the style gels with Mega Man's sharp movements. And finally, number 11. There are no female Robot Masters this time around. There was actually a female Robot Master at the concept stage for Mega Man 11, but when we paired up all the different weapons, she was one of the Robot Masters that didn't make the cut, Oda says. We definitely feel like there are plenty of opportunities to add female Robot Masters in the future. This is one of those things where we feel like it's all about what fits best for the occasion, and there are those occasions where a female would be more appropriate than a male. Well, Splash Woman will always flip-flop around in our hearts, right? Alright guys, that was that article, and I hope y'all feel a bit more informed after hearing that. And also, that article was really good at giving us some really good background information, letting us know what's been going on behind the scenes. We all know that Kiji and Inafune left, but we really didn't know exactly what was going on with Capcom and them trying to fill the gap and whether or not they were going to move forward. But this article lets us know that there was clearly some confusion over how they would replace him and whether or not they even had the desire to move forward with the Mega Man projects and whatnot. So now we know who the new man is who's in charge of directing the Mega Man project, which is Kazuhiro Tsuchiya. And that's very helpful to know, and I can't wait to see how his influence really kind of guides the new installment and what we'll eventually see in more screen captures and footage coming up. And last but certainly not least, I want to take the time to go back and revisit that question that I posed to everyone in the beginning of the video. Do you think Capcom should release a Mega Man fighter title? And I hope by now everyone has taken the time to type a comment down below and leave me your opinion, your thoughts. I really would like for you guys to share that with me. But the reason why I brought this up is because this has been a dream project of mine for a very long time. I have been keeping my eye out for Capcom to kind of break their silence on this topic. They haven't done that just yet, but and I don't really understand why it's so hard for Capcom to get on board with this project, especially when Capcom is one of the biggest fighter game companies out there. They have the Street Fighter franchise, they have the Marvel vs. Capcom series, they have the SNK vs. Capcom series, and they also have the Darkstalkers series, and all of these series have been successful for the company. Also, the way things are set up now, the only way anyone can play as any Mega Man character in some sort of fighter type role is through the Marvel vs. Capcom series, which allows you to play as either X or Zero, and now because of the Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite storyline, you can also play as Sigma, but that is only 3 characters out of all the characters that exist in the Mega Man universe. Now, just to give you guys my idea of how I could see the game set up, I would like to see them do a fighter type game where they base it around the X series, and you can play as X and you can play as Zero, but you can also play as Vile. It would be great for them to have Sigma as a playable character, as a DLC possibly, and you could also play as some of the Mavericks like Storm Eagle, Spark Mandrill, Launch Octopus, Wheel Gator, just to name a few, because of course there are a ton of Mavericks in the X series. But I would like to see them as that being kind of the foundation, and then of course everyone would love to play as the original Mega Man character, so it would be cool if they introduced some original characters as DLCs, like of course obviously introduce Mega Man, the original Mega Man, as a DLC, introduce Proto Man as a DLC, introduce Bass as a DLC, and possibly some of the original Robot Masters like Bubble Man, Flash Man, Airman, Cutman, Bomb Man. All those guys would be a lot of fun to kind of see and be able to play with and see their movesets, their combo system, see how the game mechanics would work. And even if they didn't want to take that approach with the game, I would be totally okay with them taking X and Zero and maybe introducing them to a roster of new characters that they created that might be spin-offs or based on some of the older characters from the original X series or the original Mega Man series, and then maybe take some of the original characters or some of the Mavericks and maybe introduce them as DLCs, like maybe have Storm Eagle as a DLC, or of course have those throwback characters that everyone would love and look forward to playing with, and then have like a roster of brand new Robot Masters or brand new Mavericks that would be playable as fighters that they could go against, along with maybe a brand new storyline where maybe Sigma could be the ultimate boss, or however they want to play it. But one way or the other, I just think that a fighter game would be wonderful. And as far as storyline is concerned, I don't think Capcom would have all that much problem coming up with a decent storyline, especially given the fact that the storylines from the X series were really compelling, especially Zero. I remember Zero made his entrance. He was flashy, he was dynamic, he was powerful. He had this mysteriously long golden blonde hair that was tied back, but yet he was a robot. So that was really strange and just very mysterious, and he was so much stronger than X, especially at least when X starts off in I almost said Mortal Kombat X. Anyway, but when he starts off in Mega Man X, of course, he doesn't have any of his upgrades. He's nowhere near the power level of Zero. So Zero has this incredible intro. And then as the storyline or as the game series goes on, with each new installment, we find out more and more about Zero. We eventually find out that he was created by Dr. Wily. He was created by Dr. Wily to be his masterpiece creation, who was designed for massive destruction. But because of his own personal code of ethics and morals, Zero overcame a lot of those impulses and thoughts and programming, and he went on to become a hero and champion, and he decided to work with X for the betterment of humankind. And that storyline was really, really riveting. That was a really great storyline, whoever developed that in the studio. So the bottom line is, we know that Capcom can come up with storylines that are compelling and magnetic and can really draw people in. And I'm sure most of y'all know that currently with a lot of modern day fighting games, story mode is becoming increasingly more important. If you look at Mortal Kombat X, Mortal Kombat 9, if you look at Injustice 2, a lot of these games are having really hard-hitting story modes that really suck you in for hour after hour. So we know that is a big factor, but we also know that Capcom is able to deliver. If they're able to deliver in an action-adventure game, then they can clearly deliver with creating a story mode that would work for a Mega Man fighter series. Okay guys, I am done. I am finished. I hope you guys enjoyed that spiel there. I hope you came up with some of your own good ideas. Hopefully I got you thinking about some things, and I really want to hear from you guys, as I've said a million times before. So leave your comments below. So don't forget to smash that subscribe button, click the like button, and say hello through the comments, and I will see you guys in my next video. Astronaut out.